you know? So yeah, if I'm not kind of in love, I'm not going to be able to do anything. Not really. I can be kind of professional. I mean, I know enough professional photography to be professional. Now, I have to have something going on besides just a normal subject. I have to be feeling something. And love is a great way to start. Well, it was kind of like getting hit by lightning, you know, just one day. I knew that photography was going to be my life. Well, I studied painting early on also. So the French Impressionists were really important to me because they were doing things of normal people. They were seeing average things, average street scenes, and making art out of it. So that's why Henri Cartier-Bresson and Robert Frank interested me, because I realized that they were taking everyday life and making art out of everyday life. And this was important to me because, as I said, they could take whatever was happening, like right here, right now, and make something special. I still love that. You can take your little camera, you see an ordinary situation, and you make some art out of it. I still love that. To me, I'm absolutely fascinated by that phenomenon. Divided Soul was a long process, was a 20-year process. I started out actually in the Yucatan Peninsula, and I got very involved with La Cultura de Maya. And so I was completely wrapped up in the Maya culture. I was completely wrapped up in the indigenous population of the Americas. And that was the only thing I was interested in, was the indigenous population. And so I kind of hated the conquistadores. I mean, I hated España, I hated Portugal. No, because I was with the indigenous and I was looking at everything from their point of view in a very simplistic way. And after I studied that for a while, then I said, well, I better go see who are these conquistadores. So I went to Iberia, I went to Portugal, I went to Spain. And then, of course, the conquistadores were great. You know, I fell in love with the conquistadora. Well, midlife crisis is a good thing. Anytime you have any kind of personal crisis, you have to deal with it, right? You face it. Okay, maybe I'm not so happily married. I had a beautiful wife and a great job, right? And I said, okay, all of those things are perfect, but I knew I had to go to another level. I knew I needed another level of freedom. And I had a great family life. I took my sons with me and my wife all over the world with me. But I knew I was uncomfortable on some level. And so I got rid of everything. I said ciao to everything, and I had a Leica M6, and I came to Chile. And of course there was social and political revolution going on here, which was perfect because already I had the keywords of passion, revolution, blood, Catholicism, all of these keywords that I had in my head for Divided Soul. And Chile was perfect for that at the time. Absolutely perfect. I'd already been to one revolution in España and then another revolution here in Chile, which was very similar actually. You know, Franco to the new España, and there was all kinds of social revolution going on here. So it was a lot of stuff. It was passionate. I mean, there were fiestas and there were manifestations in the same moment. One minute I'm breathing the tear gas and the police are beating the shit out of me in the streets. And then the next minute I'm dancing with a beautiful woman. So it was all happening at the same time. If you're any kind of an artist, or if you're it's like a songwriter. There's two kinds of musicians, those who play other people's songs and those who write their own songs and create their own music. And in photography, if you're going to reach the highest levels, you have to be writing your own music. You have to be thinking of your ideas. If you don't have something on your mind, you have to have something that's a little uncomfortable and you're trying to tell the story. So you have to have a point of view and you have to have something to be thinking about. It doesn't mean that what you're thinking about is more important than what somebody else is thinking about. But if you have an idea in your head, whether it's the migration from Spain and Portugal to the Americas, or some social revolution thing, or just an artistic thing, if you have this on your mind and you want to get it down on paper, so to speak, then you just do it. No, the new technology doesn't faze me a bit. I mean, a picture is a picture is a picture, whether it's on film or on digital. So now I shoot film with a Mamiya 7. I shoot medium format film. I like that. I have my own darkroom. I make black and white prints even today in my house. And I shoot color pictures with my iPhone, and I shoot color pictures with my Leica. So that the medium doesn't, there's a lot of discussion among people about what kind of camera and film versus digital. I don't care too much about that. I don't think about it much. I mean, I had to learn how to use it. And the new platforms of online and the social media, I use those things to build an audience, to number one, to teach, and number two, to even to put out my own work. Like the new book that I did on Rio de Janeiro, I created an online paywall. For $1.99, people could follow me to Rio de Janeiro for 1 month. So that helped to finance the project, and then it helped to sell the book. So I'm very comfortable with Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, all that stuff. And the digital age is fine. Because the basic thing is telling a story or making a representation. So whether it's a digital camera or a film camera doesn't make any difference to me. It really doesn't. Yeah, well, Rio was really interesting because I spent about 2 years at Rio just almost as a periodista. I was in the favelas with the drug dealers, with guns and drugs and everything else. And I was also with the very wealthy people. I was also with the Bope. I'm with every group moving around, and nobody in Rio does that. Every group, the Bope stay with the Bope, the favelas, they stay with each other. Yeah. Only one guy, only one gringo was going everywhere. So I didn't feel any need to have secrets, or I felt that I could share information with people without sacrificing anything, because I always had a lot of confidence in my own photography ability. And my mother was a teacher, and as I said, if you're a survivor at an early age, if you have something good, you feel blessed, and so you have enough energy to give to other people, for sure. So I still do that. I spend a lot of time with other photographers, particularly young photographers who are trying to move forward. So that's what I try to do. No, my only suggestion for emerging photographers or photographers who are changing, that they really want to do something special, is to find their own voice. To have something to say, think about what you really want to say, look deep, deep inside your own soul, and then figure out a way to say it. And that's the only thing I do with my students. I don't teach them how to use their cameras because I barely know how to use a camera myself. No, for example, there's 2 ways to learn how to play the guitar, right? You can learn properly every chord, right? Or you just listen to a song you like, or you get a song in your head and you just play it. Same with the piano. Same with photography. You can learn everything about the technical side. Forget it. You just find something that you have in your mind and try to say it, and you can learn the technical part later. Like I always say, take the picture first and focus later. No, I mean, I see everybody messing around with so much stuff. No, I had one cover of National Geographic, literally, that I took the picture first and then I focused after. Well, I saw a moment and I just took it. I could have thought, wait a minute, I'm a professional photographer, I better make sure my camera is set right, because it was something that happened that was a big surprise to me. And I wasn't really ready, but I just took the damn picture anyway. Thank God I was, just by luck, happened to be in focus. But I checked the focus and the f-stop and the exposure later. You know, I'll have some vague idea, but normally I have no idea what's going to happen to me. You know, everything is a surprise. If everything is a surprise, then you can always have a lot of energy, right? Yeah, you want to keep things loose, and you want to struggle too. You have to struggle also. If you are too cómodo, then you're going to be.
Nothing's going to happen. Yeah.
Demasiado cómodo es igual de demasiado aburrido.